Before the morning found its voice, before the streets woke through, before the newspaper hit the porch or the old cafe door was unlocked, the kitchen filled with quiet light, soft through the window pane. The coffee pot began to sing like it knew the day by name. The smell of roasted beans and hope drifted through the little house. The world outside could surely wait. There was no need to rush. Grandpa always woke the earliest, long before the sun would rise. He'd warm his hands around the mug and watch the changing sky. He never wasted those first moments talking just to fill the air. He said the morning carried answers if you listen with enough care. The day doesn't begin with the clock, it begins with gratitude. Pour the first cup of coffee slowly, let the morning find its pace. Every sunrise brings another chance, another gift of grace. Pour the first cup of coffee slowly, watch the steam rise to the sky. Some blessings don't arrive with thunder, they arrive this quietly. Pour the first cup of coffee slowly, before the world demands your time. The richest part of every morning is knowing you're alive. Mama spread the tablecloth, still warm from yesterday's sun. Fresh bread rested in a basket, the butter soft enough to run. Daddy read the local paper, smiling at the comic page. He folded it and passed it over, just like every age. The children wandered in one by one, hair still wild from sleep. One searched first for strawberry jam, another reached for peach preserves. Outside, the robin found its branch, the mailbox caught the light. A neighbor waved while walking past, beginning his own morning ride. No grand event was taking place, only ordinary life. But somehow those simple breakfasts still shine the brightest in my mind. Years may carry us to cities where the mornings move too fast. Coffee served inside paper cups, conversations never last. But every time I smell fresh coffee, I'm carried back once more to that little kitchen filled with love and a worn out wooden floor. The finest mornings aren't expensive, they cannot be bought or sold. They're shared with people sitting near before the day grows old. Pour the first cup of coffee slowly, while the sunrise paints the trees. Leave a chair for someone else, there's always room, you'll see. Pour the first cup of coffee slowly, let thankfulness lead the way. The smallest moments, live with love, become the ones that stay. Pour the first cup of coffee slowly, tomorrow just the same. Because every beautiful morning begins before we know its name. morning breeze, coffee warm, robin singing, day is born. One more sunrise, one more prayer, life is waiting right there.
Down a narrow brick-lined alley, hidden from the busiest street, there stood a tiny workshop where worn-out souls would meet. A wooden sign swayed overhead, its lettering faded with time. Inside, the scent of polished leather mixed with cedar and pine. Mr. Alvarez unlocked the door before the morning bells would ring. He greeted every pair of shoes as though they were living things. His hammer tapped a gentle rhythm, steady as a beating heart. Every stitch was sewn with purpose, every repair a work of art. Some things are worth replacing, others are worth restoring. Meet me at the cobbler's bench, where old shoes learn to walk again, where every worn and weathered soul finds the strength to stand again. Meet me at the cobbler's bench, where patient hands still care. The finest crafts are built with love, not speed, not wealth, not flair. Meet me at the cobbler's bench, where yesterday meets tomorrow. Some broken things aren't meant to fade, they're meant to mend their sorrow. The factory worker brought his boots, the leather cracked and dry. They've carried me for 20 years, he said with quiet pride. A young bride placed her dancing shoes upon the polished wood. They've seen the happiest day of my life. I'd keep them if I could. The cobbler smiled and nodded once, running fingers through the seams. Every pair deserves another chance, especially those with dreams. A little boy arrived with sneakers, split from heel to toe. He feared his father couldn't buy another pair just so. Mr. Alvarez simply winked, reached beneath the bench. An hour later, those old shoes looked ready for adventure again. The world keeps throwing things away, always chasing something new, but wisdom often whispers softly, take care of what carried you. A faithful friend, an old guitar, a weathered family chair. The things we choose to treasure most reveal the hearts we wear. Maybe people aren't so different from the shoes upon that shelf. Sometimes all we really need is someone who believes we can be mended. Meet me at the cobbler's bench when another morning starts, where leather isn't all that's healed. So I hope for hearts. Meet me at the cobbler's bench, where the old clock marks the day. The strongest journeys often begin when we every step you've ever taken can still lead toward the light. Hammer falling, thread pulled tight. Morning sunshine, warm and bright. One more journey, one more friend. Every ending can mend. While the whole town lay sleeping and the moon climbed high above, a warm light glowed behind a window, quiet as a mother's love. The streets were empty, still and silver. Only echoes filled the air. But inside the little bakery, life was rising everywhere. Mr. Dawson tied his apron, brushed the flour from his sleeves. He'd been making bread since 1960, long before most folks believed that every perfect loaf begins in darkness and in time, with patient hands and steady faith, not hurry, noise or shine. The mixer hummed a gentle rhythm, the oven breathed with fire. Outside the world was fast asleep, inside hope kept climbing higher. Tomorrow's bread is made while today is still dreaming. Meet me at the midnight bakery, where tomorrow starts tonight, where every loaf is shaped with hope before the morning light. Meet me at the midnight bakery, where the flour fills the air. The sweetest things in all of life are made with love and care. Meet me at the midnight bakery, before the sunrise paints the sky. The greatest blessings often grow while nobody is watching. The dough rested beneath white cloths, slowly finding strength. Mr. Dawson never rushed the east, he trusted time's good length. A young apprentice watched in silence, trying hard to understand. How do you know the bread is ready? He asked with flour on his hands. The baker smiled without looking up, placed the dough into his palms. You don't force good bread to become itself, you learn its quiet song. The first batch came out just before dawn, golden, warm and bright. Steam curled upward like a prayer, greeting morning's light. Soon the bell above the doorway rang, the very first customer smiled. She carried home 2 fresh baked loaves and enough warmth for a while. grows slowly, trust grows slowly, love grows slowly too. Just like bread inside an oven, doing what it's meant to do. Maybe that's the quiet lesson hidden in the baker's hands. The strongest hearts are patiently shaped long before they understand. Meet me at the midnight bakery when the stars are shining clear. We'll watch another ordinary miracle quietly appear. Meet me at the midnight bakery when the first birds start to sing. The smell of fresh bread in the morning makes the whole world feel like spring. Meet me at the midnight bakery whenever hope feels small, because every beautiful tomorrow begins the night before. Oven glowing, flour white, hands still working through the night. Morning breaking, bread is warm, love keeps rising with the dawn.
Down on Main Street, just past the movie house, where the old brick sidewalks gleamed after the rain, there was a record store with a faded blue awning, and every Saturday it called my name. The front display changed with the seasons, new arrivals standing shoulder to shoulder. Soul, blues, gospel, country, jazz, every shelf seemed a little older. The owner, Mr. Harris, wore rolled up sleeves, a pencil tucked behind one ear. He knew every album by its cover and every singer by the year. If you couldn't remember the title, you'd hum a line or tap the beat. He'd smile and say, third row on the left, and somehow never missed. A record isn't only music, it's a place your heart can visit. Meet me at the record store on Main Street, where the needle kisses vinyl slow. Every crackle tells a story only old records seem to know. Meet me at the record store on Main Street. We'll spend the afternoon inside, looking for one favorite album and finding pieces of our lives. Meet me at the record store on Main Street before they turn the sign to closed. Some songs don't belong on playlists, they belong in hands you hold. A young man saved for nearly 2 months to buy the album of his dreams. He carried it home beneath his jacket like it was made of gold and dreams. An elderly woman searched the gospel bins looking for a choir long gone. When the first harmony reached her ears, she quietly sang along. Two brothers argued over Motown, laughing out of aisle. One chose rhythm, one chose blues, both left wearing the same smile. Near the listening booth in
much away, but nothing matches flipping through those sleeves of yesterday. Reading every line of note, studying every photograph, wondering who played the tambourine or why the singer laughed. Some memories have a soundtrack, some records have a soul, and every spinning vinyl disc makes a broken moment whole. Meet me at the record store on Main Street when the autumn leaves begin to fall. We'll lose ourselves between the shelves and forget the world outside these walls. Meet me at the record store on Main Street where old melodies survive, because music isn't something we consume, it's something that keeps us alive. Meet me at the record store on Main Street whenever life feels out of tune. There'll always be another record waiting to find you. Needle dropping, record spin, doorbell ringing. Come on in, music waiting, shelf by shelf. Sometimes you find a song, sometimes you find yourself.
On Highway 27, just a mile before the bay, there stood a little roadside diner where weary souls would stay. A neon sign blinked softly, casting red and cobalt blue. You could spot it through the fog long before it came in view. The chrome stools lined the counter, their leather faded thin. The bell above the entrance chimed each time someone walked in. The waitress knew the regulars, she never had to ask. She poured the coffee before they sat, like it was a favorite task. Fresh pie cooled beside the window, apple, peach, and pecan too. The smell of butter, cinnamon, made strangers feel like family too. Some places feed your hunger, others feed your soul. Meet me at the Lighthouse Diner, where the coffee's always warm, where every smile outlasts the rain, and every heart escapes the storm. Meet me at the Lighthouse Diner, where the jukebox softly plays. The sweetest conversations are the ones that never have to raise. Meet me at the Lighthouse Diner, when the highway feels too long. Some places only serve a meal, this one helps you carry on. A
trucker pulled in every Tuesday. After driving through the night, he'd order eggs and country toast, then watch the morning light. A young nurse stopped before her shift, still wearing tired eyes. The waitress slipped an extra muffin without a word of price. An elderly couple shared one pie, just like they always had. He still held the door for her. She still called him my lad. A teenage singer with a guitar played softly in the booth. No stage, no crowd, no spotlight, just songs that spoke the truth. Outside the rain kept falling, headlights crossed the glass. Inside the world grew smaller and kinder as they passed. The finest places in this life really make the evening news. The bill with open chairs, patient hearts and well-worn shoes, a fresh cup poured at just the right time, a stranger asking how have you been. Those little acts of kindness can change the day you're in. Maybe heaven looks a little like a diner after dark, where no one stays a stranger and everyone leaves with hope. Meet me at the Lighthouse Diner when the stars begin to glow. We'll order one more slice of pie before it's time to go. Meet me at the Lighthouse Diner, where the windows shine so bright. The world may keep on rushing, but peace still lives tonight. Meet me at the Lighthouse Diner whenever you need a friend. The open sign may someday fade, but the welcome never ends. Coffee steaming, neon glows, jukebox playing, soft and low. Doorbell ringing, pull up a chair, someone smiling, you're home there. Every night at 8:30, when the sky wore shades of blue, the evening mail train crossed the valley right on time, as if it knew. Its engine wore a coat of black, its whistle long and low. The sparks would dance above the tracks like fireflies in a row. Folks on porches pause their stories just to watch it pass. Children counted every boxcar until the very last. No one really needed to, it simply felt just right. Some traditions ask for nothing but a quiet summer night. Every journey carries freight, some carry memories. Hear the evening mail train calling, rolling through the countryside, bringing dreams from distant places, carried by the tide. Hear the evening mail train calling through the moonlit fields of corn. Some letters change a lifetime, long before the dawn. Hear the evening mail train calling as it disappears from sight. Hope can travel many miles in the middle of the night. Inside one weathered canvas sack was a birthday card in blue, addressed to a little farmhouse with the ribbon drawn in crayon too. Another held a photograph of a baby just 3 days old. A grandfather would see that smile before the week grew cold. One envelope carried college news, a dream that had come true. Another held a folded prayer from someone missing you. A sailor's wife sat by her window, listening for the sound. The train became a promise each time it came around. She knew the mail would reach the station just after break of day. And maybe in tomorrow's bundle, his letter found its way. Today the world moves faster, messages appear in a blink. Yet something about waiting made every word sink deep. A handwritten page could carry tears, laughter, hope, and grace. You could almost hear the writer's voice inside each careful phrase. Perhaps that's why we keep old letters tied with faded string, because paper can grow fragile, but love remembers everything. Hear the evening mail train calling when the stars begin to shine. Every whistle tells the valley tomorrow will arrive. Hear the evening mail train calling past the rivers, barns, and pines. Some roads are built for travelers, these rails connect our lives. Hear the evening mail train calling, though the years keep rolling by. As long as someone waits with hope, no goodbye is goodbye. Stars above, letters waiting, wrapped in love. Rails keep singing through the night. Morning's coming with its light. Just off the corner of Rosewood Street, where the sidewalk met the rain, there was a little cafe that nobody could quite explain. It wasn't famous for the coffee, though the coffee tasted fine. It wasn't known for fancy meals or expensive bottles of wine. People came because of the music floating gently through the room. Old vinyl records turned all day, from sunrise until the moon. A record player by the window spun with a gentle sigh. Every crackle told a story long before the chorus arrived. The walls were dressed with photographs, faded posters from the past. Every frame held smiling faces, moments built to last. Some songs fill a room, the best ones fill a lifetime. Meet me at the Vinyl Cafe, where yesterday still sings, where every record starts a story and every melody has wings. Meet me at the Vinyl Cafe, where the coffee never grows cold. We'll trade our worries for old songs worth more than silver or gold. Meet me at the Vinyl Cafe, when the afternoon rolls by. Some people fall in love with music, some fall in love because of it. A college student found an album his grandfather used to play. He closed his eyes for just a while and drifted far away. A waitress hummed along in rhythm as she filled another cup. She knew the words to every chorus without ever looking up. An old jazz trumpet player stopped in every Tuesday night. He tapped the table with 2 fingers, keeping perfect time. One rainy evening the power failed, the room fell still and dark. Then someone picked up an old guitar and music found another heart. Soon every voice joined in together. No microphones, no stage, just strangers becoming neighbors, one harmony at a time. The world keeps getting louder, faster every passing year, but some melodies remind us of the people we hold dear. A record may begin with crackles, its cover worn and thin, yet somehow those imperfect sounds feel more alive within. Maybe love is like old vinyl. It isn't always clean, but every little scratch reminds us of where we've been. Meet me at the Vinyl Cafe, when the evening lights grow low. We'll play another favorite record before it's time to go. Meet me at the Vinyl Cafe, where every table has a friend. The sweetest songs are never measured by the way they end. Meet me at the Vinyl Cafe, whenever life feels blue. There's always one more chair, one more song waiting here for you. Needle falling, coffee pours, rain keeps singing past the doors. Lights stay glowing soft and slow. One more record before you go. the corner of Pine and Jackson, where the morning traffic slowed, there stood an old brick barber shop at the end of Maple Road. A striped pole turned in circles, red, white, blue, and bright. Its colors caught the early sun before the day took flight. Inside the chairs were polished leather, the mirrors tall and wide. The scent of shaving cream and talc had never left inside. Mr. Carter hung his jacket on the same old wooden peg. He'd sharpen every straight razor before the town was up ahead. The little radio on the shelf played yesterday's sweet songs. No one ever seemed to notice how quickly time had gone. Some people come for a haircut, some come because they belong. Meet me at the barber's chair, where every face has a name, where conversations never hurry, though the seasons always change. Meet me at the barber's chair, where the laughter fills the room. A trim may only take an hour, but the memories last for years to come. Meet me at the barber's chair, where the old clock marks the day. The finest friendships often grow in the simplest of ways. A little boy climbed up on two cushions, his feet still far from the floor. He looked into the giant mirror like he'd never seen himself before. Mr. Carter wrapped the cape around him and asked, just like your dad? The boy sat a little straighter, prouder than he'd ever had. An old railroad engineer stopped by every Friday noon. He always read the sports page first, then softly hummed a tune. A traveling salesman wandered in, just passing through the state. He stayed an extra 40 minutes because no one wanted him to leave. Outside, the rain tapped on the windows, cars rolled slowly by. Inside, the stories kept on flowing, as easy as the time. The world keeps finding faster ways to finish every task, but some places were never built for people who rush past. A chair can hold much more than someone waiting for a trim. It can hold old family stories, dreams, regrets, and friends. Years may silver every head and slow each steady stride, but kindness never loses style. It only grows with time. Meet me at the barber's chair, when another Saturday begins. We'll laugh about the old days like they never had to end. Meet me at the barber's chair, where the striped pole still turns slow. Some people leave looking different, everyone leaves feeling known. Meet me at the barber's chair, whenever you're passing through. The haircut may be over, but the welcome stays with you. Scissors singing, mirror bright, morning coffee, golden light. leaning by the white picket fence beneath the shade of an elm. Stood a little blue bicycle with a silver ringing bell. Its paint was chipped in places, the handlebars were worn, but every scratch upon its frame had a story to perform. It carried morning newspapers, it carried school books too, it carried dreams down country roads, still sparkling with the dew. Every summer just past sunrise, its tires kissed the lane. The wind became its closest friend, the fields called out its name. Some wheels carry our bodies, the best ones carry our childhood. Ride the little blue bicycle down the road where memories grow, past the old red barn and maple trees where the cool creek waters flow. Ride the little blue bicycle, let the morning set you free. The simplest roads can sometimes lead to life's sweetest discoveries. Ride the little blue bicycle till the daylight fades away. Some journeys aren't measured by miles, but by the joy along the way. A little boy with untied shoes raced every passing breeze. He believed he could outrun the birds or climb the tallest trees. His sister rode upon the back, laughing through the hills. Together they chased butterflies across the daffodils. When the chain slipped off one afternoon, their father knelt nearby, grease upon his working hands, patience in his eyes. He said things don't have to be brand new to take you somewhere grand. Then spun the pedals one more time with gentle, steady hands. The bicycle rolled on again, as if it understood. Years replaced those dirt roads with highways built of stone. The blue bicycle disappeared, the children both had grown. But every time I hear a bicycle bell somewhere down the street, I'm carried back to endless summers, running on bare feet. Life keeps handing us new roads, different maps to trace, yet somehow every winding path still leads me to that place. Ride the little blue bicycle where the wildflowers bloom each spring. Leave behind the weight of yesterday, carry only hopeful things. Ride the little blue bicycle till the sunset paints the sky. The greatest freedom I have known never needed wings to fly. Whenever life feels long, the heart remembers every road that first taught it to be strong. Bell keeps ringing, wheels spin free. Summer sunshine
country breeze.
One more journey,
One more smile.
ride forever like a child. On the front porch of a weathered house, where the climbing roses grew, an old oak swing hung patiently, waiting like it always knew. Its chains would softly sing at dusk, keeping time with summer air. Every gentle back and forth carried memories everywhere. The porch looked out across the fields where fireflies came each June. The crickets played their evening hymn beneath the rising moon. Grandma left a quilt folded neatly across one wooden arm. She said every cool evening breeze deserved a little warmth. A pitcher filled with sweet iced tea rested on the table near. The glasses clinked like tiny bells whenever friends drew near. Some places ask you to arrive, others ask you to stay. Meet me on the old porch swing, where the evening settles slow, where yesterday and tomorrow meet in the sunset's golden glow. Meet me on the old porch swing. Let the world keep rushing by. The finest conversations need nothing but the open sky. Meet me on the old porch swing, when the stars begin to bloom, the quiet moments shared with love can light the darkest room. A grandfather taught his grandson how to whistle through the breeze. The boy could never quite get it right, but he laughed with every breeze. A young woman read her letters there, each one tied with faded twine. She'd smile at every handwritten word, reading every single line. Neighbors wandered over nightly without a call or plan. One brought peaches from the orchard, another homemade jam. Someone always found a reason to stay another hour. The swing kept moving gently as the moon climbed higher. When the first autumn chill arrived, the stories only grew, blankets wrapped around their knees, while the stars shone bright and true. Life keeps building taller houses, busy streets and brighter lights, yet peace still seems to find us on the simplest of nights. A rocking chair, a faithful friend, a sky of endless blue, the richest kind of happiness has always Perhaps the greatest gift we own is time we freely share, not measured by a clock at all, but by who is sitting there. Meet me on the old porch swing. When the summer fades away, we'll watch another crimson sunset, close another day. Meet me on the old porch swing. When the winter winds appear, we'll wrap ourselves in laughter that keeps every season near. Meet me on the old porch swing. No matter where we've been, no matter where we've been, because every road worth traveling leads us home again. Swing keeps swaying, soft and slow. Evening whispers warmly glow. Stars above us, hearts still sing. Life feels lighter on that swing. Beyond the rolling hills of Ashton, past the creek and weathered gate, there stretched an old apple orchard that had learned to quietly wait. Each tree stood with patient branches bent beneath the morning dew. Robin songs fill the cool, still air, while the sky turned shades of blue. The road seemed endless in the distance, like verses yet to rhyme. Every season wrote another chapter, every harvest marked the time. Oh, Mr. Walker walked the pathways with a basket by his side. He greeted every tree by name with humble, grateful pride. He always tipped his hat at sunrise before a single apple fell. Every day begins with mercy was the story he would tell. The sweetest fruit, never grows overnight. Meet me in the orchard at sunrise, where the morning learns to sing. Every branch is filled with promise, every dawn becomes a spring. Meet me in the orchard at sunrise, where the golden light appears. The richest harvests in this life are grown through faithful years. Meet me in the orchard at sunrise, before the day grows old. Some treasures can't be gathered, they can only be grown. A little boy climbed halfway up the oldest apple tree. His grandfather laughed low and said, "Leave a few for you and me." They filled their baskets slowly, never taking everyone. "Leave some for the birds," he whispered, "the harvest belongs to everyone." A school teacher brought her students on the first week every fall. She told them every tiny seed could someday feed us all. An old painter sat beneath the shade, his easel facing east. He never seemed to paint the trees, he painted never pride or boast. Oh, the world keeps asking louder, how much can you produce? But nature softly answers, only what your roots can choose. Strong roots hide beneath the surface, where no applause is found. Yet everything that reaches heaven first learns to trust the ground. Perhaps the finest lives are lived just like an orchard grows, patient through the winter, joyful when it shows. Meet me in the orchard at sunrise, when the autumn breezes blow. We'll walk between the ancient rows, where quiet blessings grow. Meet me in the orchard at sunrise, when another year begins. Every ending plants a seed for life to bloom again. Meet me in the orchard at sunrise. If your heart has lost its way, the strongest hope you'll ever find is growing day by day. Morning breaking, branches sway, robins singing start the day. Hands are grateful, hearts are true. Every sunrise makes us new.
Every July, when the harvest moon rose above the county line, the old fairgrounds came alive again, with laughter, lights, and time. Strings of glowing bulbs stretched overhead, painting gold across the night. The Ferris wheel stood tall and proud, turning slow beneath the light. Children raced with painted faces, cotton candy in their hands. The carousel played cheerful tunes, while families filled the stands. The scent of caramel apples, fresh popcorn, and lemonade mixed with the music of happy voices that never seem to fade. Some rides last only minutes, some moments that last forever. Meet me at the Ferris wheel tonight, where the whole town shines below. Every circle brings us closer to the dreams we used to know. Simply made of one more fearless chance. Meet me at the Ferris wheel tonight, before the summer ends. The brightest nights are never built from fireworks alone, but from family, love, and friends. A little girl held her father's hand, afraid of heights at first.
He smiled and said, "I'll ride with you." And suddenly fear was worse than missing out on all the wonder waiting high above. So they climbed into the painted seat, held together by trust and love. A teenage boy won a giant bear at the ring toss down the lane. He carried it through every ride, pretending it wasn't for Jane. An elderly couple bought 2 tickets, just like they had years before. They still sat in the very same car, number 24. When the wheel reached its highest point, the whole fair seemed to glow. The town looked small, the stars looked near, and the worries far below. Life keeps turning like the Ferris wheel, rising, falling, round and round. Some days we touch the highest clouds, some days we're back on the ground. But every climb has its reward, every descent its grace, because the view is never only found at the very highest place. It's found in who is sitting beside you, laughing through the ride. The greatest joy is rarely where you're going, it's who stays by your side. Meet me at the Ferris wheel tonight. When the music fills the air, we'll wave at strangers from above without a single care. Meet me at the Ferris wheel tonight. When the final ride is cold, the lights may dim, the gates may close, but love outshines them all. Meet me at the Ferris wheel tonight. When another summer's gone, we'll remember how a simple ride kept our hearts forever young. Ferris turn, children cheer, summer even, year by year. Lights glow, music plays. Hold this moment always. On the corner of Magnolia Street, where the old brick sidewalks meet, a little flower shop would open before the town found its feet. Buckets overflowed with roses, sunflowers reach for morning skies. Lilies stood in quiet elegance, daisies smiled with open eyes. The tiny bell above the doorway sang a cheerful little tune. Every customer who entered left a little less consumed. Mrs. Eleanor tied each bouquet with ribbon, lace, and care. She always said that flowers carried feelings words could never share. The scent of lavender and jasmine floated gently through the room. Even rainy afternoons seemed somehow to bloom. Every flower has its season, The smallest bouquet in your hands can become somebody's friend. Meet me at the corner flower shop when another spring begins. Some gifts fade with passing days. Kindness never ends. A young man bought 3 yellow tulips, too nervous to explain. Mrs. Eleanor smiled kindly. First love feels that way. An old widower chose white lilies. Every single Friday morn, he placed them where his sweetheart rested, just after every dawn. A little girl spent all her coins on one bright daisy bloom. It's for my teacher, she whispered softly. She makes my whole day bloom. A tired nurse came after work, still wearing midnight strain. The florist tucked one extra rose inside, without a name. Outside, the seasons kept on turning. Leaves fell, snow came and went. But inside that little flower shop, hope was always heaven sent. The prettiest flowers never wonder if they're blooming well enough. They simply greet the morning sun with quiet, faithful love. Perhaps we're not so different. Perhaps we're meant to grow through gentle rain and brighter days, more than we'll ever know. For beauty isn't measured by how long petals stay. It's measured by the joy they leave long after they've blown away. Meet me at the corner flower shop when the robins start to sing. We'll carry home a little color to welcome in the spring. Meet me at the corner flower shop when the autumn breezes blow. Even as the leaves are falling, there are still new seeds to sow. Meet me at the corner flower shop whenever life feels gray. Sometimes all it takes is one small bloom to brighten someone's day. Petals dancing, morning dew, sunlight shining, sky so blue. Doorbell ringing, step inside. Every flower comes alive.
At the end of Willow Lane, beneath an ivy-covered stone, there stood a tiny watchmaker's shop where no one felt alone. A weathered clock hung by the door, its brass hands worn with age. Each passing hour chimes so softly, like turning another page. Inside 100 timepieces, ticked in gentle harmony. Grandfather clocks and pocket watches played their quiet symphony. Mr. Whitmore bent above his bench, a magnifying glass in place. With patient hands and steady eyes, time slowed upon his face. Tiny gears lay neatly sorted, springs no wider than a thread.
He treated every broken watch as if it still had years ahead. Time cannot be repaired, but the things that measure it can.
Meet me at the watchmaker's shop,
where every second has a song, where broken hands begin to move and forgotten dreams move on.
meet me at the watchmaker's shop,
where patience leads the way. The finest work is never rushed, it earns another day.
meet me at the watchmaker's shop,
when the afternoon grows still, some people mend old watches, some quietly mend the wheel. A young bride brought her father's watch, it's crystal cracked with time. It stopped the day he left this world, she said with eyes that shined. Mr. Whitmore held it carefully, listening close and long, then softly smiled and whispered, I think its heart is strong. An old sea captain placed upon the cloth a compass and a chain. This watch crossed every ocean, I like it too again. A little boy arrived one day with a watch made out of tin. It doesn't really tell the time, he said with a hopeful grin. The watchmaker wounded anyway, then handed it right back. It tells something even better, it reminds you to come back. The world keeps racing forward, always counting what comes next. But wisdom isn't measured by the numbers we collect. It's measured by slow conversations, promises that never bend, the hands we hold while time moves on, the love that has no end.
for clocks may count the hours,
but hearts count something more. They remember every kindness long after closing the door.
meet me at the watchmaker's shop,
when the evening bells are near, we'll listen to the old clock sing another faithful year.
meet me at the watchmaker's shop,
where every tick rings true. The greatest gift that time can bring is sharing it with you.
meet me at the watchmaker's shop,
whenever life runs fast, because the moments worth remembering are never in the past.
ticking softly,
Hands aligned, morning sunlight marks the time.
one more heartbeat,
One more chime, chime. Love lives longer than time. Beyond the edge of Willow County, where the highway curved out west, an old drive-in theater stood against the evening's chest. Its giant screen was weathered white, faded by the summer sun. Yet every Friday after dusk, its magic had begun. Families rode in pickup trucks, convertibles and sedans. Teenagers polished chrome all week just to park with holding hands. The ticket booth was painted red, its tiny window bright. Mrs. Collins greeted everyone with the same warm smile each night. The smell of buttered popcorn drifted far beyond the gates, mixed with fresh cut grass and gasoline. It was worth the wait. Some movies end, the memories never do. Meet me at the old drive-in theater, where the stars shine twice at night. Once above the open heavens, once upon the silver light. Meet me at the old drive-in theater, where the speakers softly play. Some stories last for 2 short hours, the best ones never fade. Meet me at the old drive-in theater, when the moon climbs overhead. Some places show you pictures, others fill your heart instead. A little boy wore cowboy boots, pretending to ride the plains by the movie's end. He'd fallen asleep, curled beneath a blanket in the back. A young couple shared 1 milkshake, 2 paper straws, 1 smile. Neither one remembered the movie, only staying there a while. An elderly pair returned each month for 40 years and counting still. They parked in nearly the same old spot, halfway up the hill. He still opened every car door, she still laughed at all his jokes. The years had silvered both their hair, but never dimmed their hope. Behind the snack bar, teenagers worked, saving for guitars and dreams, believing the whole wide world began just beyond the movie screen. Now the lot grows quiet most evenings, the speaker's long gone still. The projector sleeps in silence behind the lonely hill. Yet if you close your eyes at sunset, you can almost hear the sound. Children laughing, engines idling, joy rolling all around. Perhaps the finest places vanish, not because they disappear, but because they move forever into the hearts that held them dear. Meet me at the old drive-in theater, where the fireflies start to glow. We'll watch another time the story, like we did so long ago. Meet me at the old drive-in theater, where the night feels young again. Some tickets buy a movie, some moments have no end. Meet me at the old drive-in theater. If you ever pass this way, the screen may have gone quiet, but the memory still plays. Projector humming, stars above, popcorn waiting. Young first love, screen grows brighter, night goes on. Some old movies never are gone.